I actually have a small example of this from my own life. I was raised in the southern part of the United States, and when I was about 12 years old, my family moved from Virginia, which is in the southern part of the U.S., the southeast. They moved from Virginia up to New Jersey, which is in the northeast. Now, when I moved to New Jersey, I had a southern accent. I kind of spoke like this. I stretched all my words, and I spoke with a southern accent, because that's how southern people talk. So I had a southern accent. However, when I went to New Jersey, none of those children had southern accents. They all spoke with more of a standard American accent. And what did they do when they heard me speak? They laughed. They laughed at me. They thought I sounded funny. So they joked about me. They made fun of me. So guess what happened? I lost my southern accent very quickly. Very, very quickly, I dropped that southern accent, and I learned to speak with more of a standard kind of middle America accent, the one I have now as an adult. So we only lived in New Jersey for 2 years. Then we moved back to the South, back to Georgia. But I never reacquired, I never got that southern accent again. I always kept that standard American accent. So you can see the power of this, right? Why did I drop my southern accent? Why did I learn the standard accent? Right? It was simply psychological. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be like all the other children. So I was highly motivated to do this. So, of course, I just started copying the way they spoke. So, how can this help you with your pronunciation? Well, I have a few suggestions. Psychology is the problem here. Emotions, identity, that's what the problem is. That's what's probably preventing you from sounding more like an American or like a British person, whichever accent you prefer. So what you need to do is you have to connect more strongly with that culture and with people in that culture. You must become more motivated to fit in with them, to be like them. See, most students don't do this. They study English, for tests and other things like that, but they never really connect strongly with the country, with the culture, with the people there. And so they feel strange trying to sound American, because they're like, I'm not American, I'm Spanish, I'm not American, I'm Japanese. They feel strange. But if you really do want to get a better accent, you have to do something different. You must find a way to connect with the culture and the people. Now, how do you do this? Well, let's say America. Let's say you want to sound like an American. You want to have an American accent when you speak. Well, you need to find some parts of the American culture that you really, 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 really love. And you need to focus on that and read about it and listen to things about that topic. And then most important of all, you must connect with Americans who also love that part of the culture, that topic. So let's focus on one example. Let's say you love martial arts, like mixed martial arts, fighting martial arts, boxing, that kind of thing. Well, what you could do is you would start focusing on that in America. You would start every day, you would start reading the American websites about mixed martial arts. And you would watch videos in American English about mixed martial arts. You would read books by Americans on the topic of mixed martial arts. You would learn all about the American fighters in mixed martial arts. You'd find your favorite and you would follow them. Maybe you would even try to copy the way they speak. Now, the next step would be to find other American fans of mixed martial arts. So you would start searching for member sites, forums, groups, organizations in America that are focused on mixed martial arts. If you visited the United States, you would visit a gym or a school that taught mixed martial arts. And you would try to make friends with the other American fighters, the other American students. Try to connect to them. If you didn't visit the United States, you could try talking on Skype, right? The internet phone for free, with other fans of mixed martial arts. Of course, you'd want to focus on American fans if that's the accent you want. So you start connecting more and more and more and more to the culture, to the people in the culture, about something that excites you, that's important to you, that's passionate, so that you really do want to belong to that group. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be mixed martial arts. It could be movies. It could be, any topic. It doesn't matter. Or it could be several topics. You could choose one or two or three things that you really love about the culture. It's especially good if you can find a topic that is unique, special about that culture. So, for example, with America, you might focus on American football. Now, American football is only played professionally in the United States and Canada. So there are two professional leagues, big ones, in the United States and Canada. The big league is in the United States. So you could learn about it, you could learn all the rules. There are so many fans in the United States that love American football. And that's unique. That's something very special about America. It will connect you to America. So that's another example. You can find something like that. Or maybe American movies, or it doesn't matter, certain kinds of American music, whatever. This is very important. This will help your pronunciation. I know it seems strange, but it will help your pronunciation. It takes some time, but this is one of the deep secrets to improving your pronunciation. Now, another thing you can do, another thing I encourage you to do, is to create two identities. Imagine you're a superhero, right? There was Superman and Clark Kent, two identities, and they were very different. Their personalities were very different. Right? Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Again, it's the same person, but he had two identities. When he was Spider-Man, he was funny, and he was a big hero, and when he's Peter Parker, he's kind of calm and more shy, quiet, polite. So this guy had two identities. You can do the same. You can create an American identity and then your own normal identity that you use in your own country. This can be very powerful because, for example, let's say, again, a Japanese person. Well, the Japanese culture, Japanese society, Japanese way of communicating is very different than American. Right? Japanese people are not direct. It's kind of rude to be too direct, too loud. Americans like directness. Americans can be very loud. So this is another problem, and it's another reason why Japanese adults don't learn good American pronunciation. It feels strange to act like an American, to sound like an American to them. And they don't want to have an American identity because then they feel they will lose their Japanese identity. But that's not true. You won't lose it. You just need to have two. So when you're speaking American, when you're speaking English, you have one kind of personality. You act one way. Maybe you're more outgoing, more loud, more funny. And when you're speaking your own language in your own country, well, then you have that personality. And you don't have to pretend, choose different parts of your personality. We all have different parts. We're all shy sometimes and outgoing sometimes. Right? We can all be loud sometimes and quiet sometimes. So choose the parts of your personality that fit America and make them stronger. That's your American identity. You can even give yourself a different nickname if you want. And when you speak English, and when you listen to English, and when you communicate with Americans, you use that personality, that identity. And when you're at home normally, speaking your own language, then you use your other normal identity. So that's it. That's culture and pronunciation. Culture, identity, and pronunciation. Try this. It's different than what most teachers will tell you, but it's very powerful. It's very deep. This is not just practicing, the R and the L sound or something, or TH. Those are very small things. They're not deep. This goes very deep. If you do it, and when you do it, you will get some very powerful results. Okay, to learn more about the Effortless English system and Effortless English lessons, go to effortlessenglishclub.com. Again, that's effortlessenglishclub.com. See you there. Have a great day. Bye-bye.